Hi, everybody. Welcome to Pace Studio on the Road. We're live right now in Quebec at the FME, thanks to our friends at the SoCan Foundation. Live with Hey Babies. It's great to see you. Thanks for doing this.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you for being here. The sound check has sounded great, and we are about to share 3 of your songs from the current record with our audience right now. What do you want to do first?
We're going to play Entre deux montagnes, which means in between two mountains.
1, 2, 3, et... Des mille et des mille dans les vallées, vers la belle province, on s'est dirigé. Les deux s'en arrière, en parquant des silos. Ça pince le cœur, voir sa mère en sanglots, voir sa mère en sanglots, voir sa mère en sanglots. Parti rien, mais y a jamais rien dit. Je vois dans ses yeux déjà il s'ennuie. La maison sans toi semble trop grande. Je sauverai tes larmes, dormirai dans ta chambre. Joie de vivre, mais plus je vieillis, je te trouve naïve. Tes rêves t'ont emmené ailleurs faire ta vie, me laissant derrière encore bébé famille.
Thank you. So the record is the French for the phrase box of letters, and I want to know more about that particular box that inspired the record, what you found on those letters, and tell us more.
Yeah, well, Kat and I used to own a vintage store in Moncton, New Brunswick, where we're from. And we kind of had a reputation around town for being the chicks who wear bell-bottoms and vintage clothes. And a family friend of mine told me she had to go empty out this house, like a hoarder's house, that was full of vintage clothes in the attic. And it was all going to be thrown out, so she invited me to go, look through it, keep whatever I wanted. And I went the first day, and I was there 8 hours. And I still wasn't done. So like the next day, I called Kat, she came and helped. And it was just like a crazy mess, but also like our wildest dream. And we stumbled on a bread bag of letters and carte postale, postcards. Yeah, postcards. And we brought them home, and we kind of forgot about them, and eventually we wanted to write a new record. And we were like just freaking around in a cottage, like trying to think of something to write about, and we thought we should read the letters that we had found like the year before. And when we started reading them, we realized, okay, these letters are from the 60s. They're all dated and they're all signed, and it's, you know, it's this woman, Jackie, and she's writing to her mom once a week, and she had just moved to Montreal from Moncton, and she's writing home once a week and telling her mom how amazing her life is, how she's a huge success in Montreal. But she's also like, can grandma send me some money?
I'm almost 100% sure that she was actually an escort. And yeah, she had like crazy stories and
amazing nightlife, wild stories of
dating
travel,
like 5
dating.
guys in every letter.
Which was like, when we think of how our grandmothers would talk, or our mom, like she was really open with her mom about like, you know, everything from.
It got juicy.
Yeah, it got juicy. Yeah, you could tell her mom was her best friend, and
we became obsessed with Jackie and this whole story because at the time we were the same age she was, more or less, and you know, we grew up in Moncton and we also spent a bunch of time in Montreal, and
at the time too, you guys were in New Brunswick and I was in Montreal, and we did the album by correspondence.
We would like
almost.
Meet up halfway. And yeah, and it's like, you know, it's a cultural thing if you live on the east coast of Canada, that like Montreal is like the big city, it's the closest big city, and you know, whenever your friend tells you they're moving to Montreal, you're like, fuck, I knew that was gonna come one day, because everybody goes, but they always come back. But so yeah, we wrote our whole album around these 60-ish letters that we found, and
it was pretty much just like a fill in the blanks, like, because we had those letters and we also had to try to imagine her life around what we know out of the letters, right? So it was a fun art project to just build around who this character is with the clues that we have. So.
Well, you got to know that person probably more intimately than a lot of people that actually knew her through like that level of honesty. Probably. Like, you're not that honest with many people, and you got to see peek right behind the curtain of this informal relationship with a, totally. You know, deceased person, and get a really good snapshot of what it was like to be Jackie.
Yeah, exactly.
And we wore her clothes too, proudly.
Because we also found all the clothes in the attic, and we realized that was her mom's house. Like, her mom would get these letters in the mail, put them in the attic, and she would actually write her mom and be like, oh, my clothes don't fit anymore, can you alter it? And she would send like clothes in the mail, and her mom would fix it and send it back to her. And so it's like this really cool, wacky thing about clothes and letters, all of our favorite stuff.
Nice. Well, thank you for sharing the music and the stories behind it. We'd love to hear another song from the record.
Yeah, this one's called Same Old, and it's actually about, because the letter was a one-way conversation from Jackie to her mom, so we couldn't help but imagine what her mom would have said to her after all these extravagant stories and asking for money and getting in trouble, and so we just kind of made up a letter that her mom would have responded to her.
Le bras est levé sur la boîte aux lettres. J'avais peur qu'on soit tombé dans un fait. T'es rendu dans tes trous. Je t'envoie le manteau. Tu voulais je coule. Le d'étudiant ou l'autre. Y avait-tu pas un docteur? Y était-tu pas beau? Ici c'est juste moi puis ta sœur. Tu connais ton père, toujours sur la gauche. Ici c'est same old. Le monde part vite, le temps passe. L'utopie tes yeux émeraudes. Je t'envie en pleine éclose. Le poêle travaille double time. J'ai fait du pain pis des galettes. Vois-tu encore ta ligne? As-tu continué ta diète? Ils appellent encore à la maison. C'est le temps, tu payes tes billes. Demande plus à mes mères pour t'acheter du parfum, des bottes pis des frites. Ici c'est same old. Le monde part vite, le temps passe. L'utopie tes yeux émeraudes. Je t'envie en pleine éclose. J'ai su qu'il y a eu une bombe pas loin de chez toi sur des caries. Tout le monde me demande si t'es ok. Fais attention à toi, ma chérie. J'ai reçu ta prescription. C'est bien que ça te monte le moral.
Prends-en pas trop.
On sera là pour toi à la maison. Si tu te tannes de Montréal. Ici c'est same old, same old. Le monde part vite, le temps passe slow. Depuis tes yeux émeraudes, je t'envie en pleine éclose. Ta photo s'est-tu rendue dans les magazines? Il faut garder tes portes ouvertes. Ici t'étais la plus belle, mais y a beaucoup de monde là-bas. La vie tu assez grande pour toi. Tu as encore changé d'adresse. Je croyais te mettre ton appartement. Ça fait assez du bien de te lire. Donne de tes nouvelles à ta maman. La boucle est bouclée, la cire est belle. Les bras élevés, sa boîte aux lettres. La boucle est bouclée, la cire est belle. Les bras élevés, sa boîte aux lettres. La boucle est bouclée, la cire est belle. Les bras élevés, sa boîte aux lettres. La boucle est bouclée, la cire est belle. Les bras élevés, sa boîte aux lettres. Sa boîte aux lettres. Sa boîte aux lettres.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And all the meter changes in that one, the main meter changed maybe 2/3 of the way through the song. It was a total delight.
Thank you.
I like it.
It's kind of being on the edge of a cliff doing it without our band, but if you don't know, you don't know.
So I wanted to know. I want currently to know more about Acadian culture, and I'd considered Googling it and then pretending like I know something about it and then having that conversation. But I felt like it might be better just to not know anything about it and have you enlighten me. Like, what are some identifiable, I don't know, foods, music, anything about Acadian culture that you want to share with us now?
I would never want to share Acadian food with you. Because it's terrible.
It's not the best.
It's gross.
It's basically
Yeah.
potatoes and potatoes. Yeah.
Salty meat. Yeah.
Salty meat and potatoes.
Yeah, so there's like this thing, it's called a poutine râpé. It has nothing to do with a Quebec poutine. It's pretty much like a German dumpling. So it's like this gooey ball,
Of
gooey
slime.
gray slimy ball of potatoes, and then in the middle you have like salty meat. And
Like
some
the
people-
tiniest
Smallest little
piece
yeah,
of
and it's
salty
boiled,
meat.
so it gets all
Wet.
wet and
Moist and,
And some people
slimy.
eat it with ketchup, some people eat it with sugar
or
Oh,
molasses. Yeah.
Every adjective just makes it worse and worse.
Yes.
I know, right?
It's
It
it's
sounds
that
like a joke. It sounds like
it's
a
like the
skit.
kind of, you know, when you talk about like a disease and you're like, don't Google image search it. That's like the same thing. Like don't
But do
don't
it,
search
do
it
it.
on Google Images.
Do it. Open a tab.
Do you like it?
No, I don't.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and some people, I don't know. I find a lot of Acadians are liars that they say that they like it, but
There's we also have a really cool dessert called pet de sel, which
Yeah.
literally means nun fart.
yeah,
What?
yeah,
Nun
none farts.
fart.
Like
And
a-
it's a cinnamon roll, basically.
But like it's wet and it's drenched in like a brown sugar.
And it smells bad?
That sounds good.
Yeah, yeah.
No, it's-
Sister's
smells
fart.
delicious.
Ah, okay. Like a nun fart.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's it.
free of sins.
Yeah. Yeah, and then there's the poutine à trous. That's another one where like it's just berries and like a
That's true.
folded up like a kind of like not an empanada. It's like a dumpling. It's like a berry dumpling, and
Yeah,
that's
that one
very
sounds
good
good.
though.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
nice.
that's like one of the only things that's very good and no one ever makes.
And that's the Acadian culture for you.
Yeah. No, so we're pretty much just Canadian Cajuns.
you want to go on a
Yeah.
Yeah.
gourmet
Yeah,
trip?
so we're Canadian Cajuns. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're like old French. Another sorry. I've been partying too much these last couple days. I'm losing
Really,
my voice.
what's that like? I have no frame of reference for what that's like.
Yeah. Bullshit. So,
Cheers to you.
Yeah,
Cheers,
cheers.
cheers.
Cheers to you guys.
Mm.
Where's my beer?
So basically, do you want to sip of this?
Sure.
So yeah, basically, French people who colonized Canada
Well-
got deported back.
Well, it's two branches. You've got like the Québécois, and then you've got like the Acadians that are like, they came here like they were basically just sent here as guinea pigs to see if Europeans could survive the winters here.
Wow.
And the answer was no.
Kind of.
They
For the
didn't
most part.
really make it.
Yeah.
They like befriended and like kind of, you know,
We got our our asses saved by the indigenous.
yeah,
That's how we survived.
That and boiling
potatoes.
gray balls of slime.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
very hardy.
And then so that's why most of them died.
I am so glad that I asked this question, man. This has been a delightful response.
So anyway, like Kat was saying, basically, eventually they got expropriated, deported to all over France and whatnot. But then a lot of them went to like Louisiana, and so it's Acadien. In Nova Scotia, it's Acadian, and then when it made its way to like when they made their way to Louisiana, they became Cajun. So they're the Cajuns, the Canadian Cajuns. Yeah. So that's it.
Asian food is good.
Yeah,
It is.
Yeah.
way better. than
They got
Yeah,
it
well,
over there.
I think somewhere along the way, like on the boats.
Yeah, they had a lot of time on the
Yeah.
boat.
No, but I think on the boats they were actually offering cooking classes or something. It was-
They found spices because we
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
get any spices at all.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, thank you for bringing the Acadian culture
History.
here and telling us the stories and playing the music. There's
pleasure.
still one more song from the record coming up. What do you want to do third today?
It's called Almost Minuit, Almost Midnight, and it's about we surmise that Jackie.
they want me to do some noise.
Oh, okay, hold on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I asked her to do that.
Yeah,
That was my fault.
All good. What was I saying? It doesn't matter. We should just play the song.
Anyway, it's called Almost Minuit, which
Almost
means
Minuit.
it's almost midnight.
Yeah.
Il est 11 minuit, mais c'est pas comme si j'essaie de te perdre de vue, mais j'ai toujours de quoi dans l'œil. Il manque des feux, il y a des bulles partout, c'est la veille. Je saurais jamais comment ça feel, t'es la fille, je fais toujours le plein. Hey Jackie, comment ça arrange les cheveux comme ça? Hey Jackie, comment t'arranges les cheveux comme ça? Et avant minuit, le dernier temps, 163. Donne-moi un signe, dernière chance, avant je m'en vais. Et almost minuit, je dis la femme de ta vie, dis-moi, dis-moi, dis-moi. Si je ne jamais comment ça feel, t'es la fille qui se fait toujours appeler. Hey Jackie,
Si tu tombes comme ça,
hey Jackie,
y'en a pas d'autres ici comme toi. Si je ne jamais comment ça feel, si je ne jamais comment j'aime ça, si je ne jamais Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, hey babies, thank you so much. That is a wrap on day 3 for us. So we'll get out of here at the same time and potentially
Go to bed.
have beverages. Maybe. Well, we'll see. I feel like ignition might have just happened.
Just changed my mind.
So, thank
glad.
you so much,
Thanks
man.
for
This has been
having
a
us.
total
Yeah,
delight.
thanks.
We'll
It was
see
nice
you
meeting
next
you
time.
guys.
See you next time. Take
All
care.
right.
See you
Bye.
next time.
Bye.